All right, everybody, welcome back to the Mic'd Up Podcast with Zach and Dom.
Yes, sir. Today we're just going to be talking about the CS Grand Finals, a matchup of
Yes, sir.
last week, and then we got some playoff talks.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Playoffs for what, may I ask?
NHL and NBA.
Sweet.
Yes, sir.
That's what I like to hear.
You want to start first?
Yeah, I can go first. We had Blast Rivals conclude today. That's only an 8-team tournament. Only like top 8 teams are invited. Pretty sure, or maybe it's like top 6 and then 2 teams from regions. I don't really know. Pretty sure it's top 8 though. We had another exciting grand finals between Vitality and Falcons, man.
Yeah, I didn't ask
Going
who won.
all the way to
I
map
didn't want to know
5.
who won.
Yeah, man. Yeah, going all the way to map 5. Zywu and Rops, doing their thing. Both putting up a 1.3 rating. They had such similar score lines over all 5 maps. Rops went 91 and 68 kill wise, and Zywu went 90 and 66. So I mean, like, they were just almost doing the exact same thing out there. They were just both playing amazingly. But on the other side of the server, Monacy put up a 1.15 rating, and he went 92 and 78. He had the most kills out of everybody on all 5 maps. Yeah. The only problem with the Falcons side is Nico had one of the worst series that I've seen him play ever. I mean, I'm sure there's been worse, but this is the worst one that I've seen. He only put up a 0.9 rating. He went 68 and 84.
So I take it Vitality won.
Okay. Yeah. 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 It would have been a lot closer if Nico would have stepped it up a little bit, I won't lie. But yeah, Vitality did win, but it was a fun series to watch. Yeah. Falcons took map 1, 13-9, and I thought, damn, maybe Vitality's going to lose today. Because it was pretty convincing. Yeah, they didn't look pretty good in map 1. But they turned shit around on map 2 and 3 because they took both of them with a 13-6 score line.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty convincingly. Beat the shit out of them. I mean, there's nothing really else to say about 2 and 3. Yeah. But that takes us into 4. 4 was a fantastic matchup. Vitality were down, I think, 12-3 at some point. Right? And they take it all the way back into overtime.
Similar to last week.
Yeah. Yeah. But Falcons were able to pull through in overtime this time. So, and that was just to send it to map 5.
Was that single overtime?
By the time, yeah, that ended up being 16-14 final scoreline.
Okay.
But I think Falcons kind of used all their motivation and all their energy to get that overtime win because they came out on map 5 and kind of just weren't there. They lost it 13-8. Yeah, wasn't as bad as 2 and 3. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but 13-8 in map 5 to I would have liked to see another, at least overtime or a 13-11, something a little closer. Yeah. But that marks Vitality's 25th win in a row. Second ever streak, longest streak in history behind NIP.
So really the first, like the best,
the
best of teams ever looked in modern day Counter-Strike.
So what I heard though back when NIP was doing it, they had 28 of those wins were either best of 3s or best of 5s. Most of them were best of 1s. Right. All 25 Vitalities have been best of 3s or best of 5s.
Yeah.
So they're actually pushing NIP's record for best of 3s, best of 5s in a row. Because if you don't include the best of ones in there, it's only 28.
Yeah. That's nuts.
So I think they could. Yeah, they could do it. But we'll see. But that does mark their 25th win in a row,
That's
and
fucking nuts.
their
25
fifth
series wins in a row. That is insane.
Yeah, and fifth trophy in a row.
That's fucking nuts.
So since Blast Rivals, which was the first tournament of the year, first tournament of 2025, they got eliminated there, and ever since then, every tournament they've attended, they've won.
What was the record like before that?
Like in 2024?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were always good. They were always getting to playoffs, but they would always get knocked out by Spirit or
Okay, so it wasn't like they were on a 10 map
FaZe
win
would knock them
streak.
out.
They're like a 10 map win streak, had a loss, and then went on a 25.
No. Yeah, no. Because they lost at the Shanghai Major to FaZe, and in this I think in the semifinals, maybe the quarterfinals.
Mm.
FaZe ended up going to the grand finals against Spirit and lost.
Okay.
But I do think this marks kind of a Vitality era. So I think we're not gonna see them lose to a team in quite a while. And if they do lose to that team, it won't be like consistently. They'll lose that one game and then go on, like you said, another 15 maps.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen once they do lose.
Watch you jinx them and they fucking lose next tournament.
I mean, it could happen. It can happen at any time. I'd rather them lose the next tournament they play in, because the next tournament they play in is in Dallas. And if they lose that tournament, that's fine, because that gives them a few extra days to practice for the major, which is the next one after that.
Yeah, Austin.
So I wouldn't mind if they lost in Dallas, but if I had to guess, they're the massive favorites for
everything
for Dallas
in the near future.
Yeah. Except for what I'm about to go into next, which is PGA Astana, because they're not going to be there.
They're not playing.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But PGA Astana does start in 6 days on May the 10th. I think that tournament, Spirit, that's the one I think Spirit's just gonna plow through everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because both, not just both, but all three, Mouse, Falcons, and Vitality aren't gonna be there.
Yeah, they're probably the best team there.
So, and those are the 4 teams, like Spirit, Mouse, Falcons, Vitality. They're the 4 teams right now. Because Mouse, Falcons, Spirit are the only 3 that can even compete with Vitality.
Yeah.
Other people are just getting completely blown out of the water.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm super excited, man, because that just means we're moving closer to the Austin Major.
Sounds fun.
Cannot wait. But I think that's all I have for CS today, man.
Sounds good. I don't have a whole bunch. Honestly, it's probably gonna be a short one, but probably the craziest news of the week is that Scotty Scheffler wins the Byron Nelson.
Oh my god!
Now that itself probably doesn't sound crazy, that he wins the Byron Nelson, but the distance from him to second place was 8 strokes.
It was 8 strokes. Oh my god!
Scheffler finishes 31 under and takes home $1.8 million. 31 under. I wonder what he was like just today.
I don't know. I was watching it Saturday and he was 22 under.
He shot a 63 today. I don't know what par. It's probably 72.
So 9 on.
Yeah. He shot a 61, 63, 66, 63.
61 is insane.
The worst he shot was a 66.
Is that course record? What is course
honestly,
record?
It could be.
61 is insane.
It was TPC Craig something.
Craigslist?
Dude, I looked up TPC Craig and then Craigslist came up. Let me just look up Byron Nelson for a minute.
Your hat says Craig as well.
Elijah Craig. Yeah, it's a bourbon. TPC Craig Ranch. It's a par 72. Let me see. Course record. Do you see Craig Ranch TP?
Gregory Ranch
course record. Course record is a 60.
Damn, one off tying it. Fuck.
But that was when.
I'd be pissed.
And wait.
That was when.
He had the record for the lowest 72-hole score ever there. It's a 60 achieved in 2021 and matched in 2022. The course has also shifted from a par 72 design in 2021 and 2022 to a par 71 design for the 2023 and 2024 events. I'm assuming it went back to 72 for this year. So, it's the lowest anyone's ever shot at this tournament.
Sweet.
Which in itself is crazy.
That's what I like to hear.
That's his first win this season and to go along with 6 top 10 finishes. So he's had kind of a slow season compared to what he was doing last year, but fuck, he's still the best player in the world by a wide margin. I don't know who else would be.
31 under par, dude.
That's fucking.
That's nuts. Like what I do in the games.
I know. Yeah. When you're playing on fucking easy mode and shit.
Right. Well, kinda. I got the AI turned all the way up, but they're still way back here, man.
For the race at Texas Motor Speedway today, Joey Logano gets his get back, taking home the W.
Oh, hell yeah.
After being disqualified last week for his post-race inspection.
I fucking hate Joey Logano.
Me too. I'm not a big Joey Logano fan.
Yeah, I take that back.
I wonder what the top 5 was. It says Joey Logano wins chaotic finish. Kyle Busch, I saw him spin out. I don't know if he was taken out, like done for the whole race or what.
Probably knowing him.
It was late in the race, like real late. Joey Logano finishes first, followed by Ross Chastain, Ryan Blaney, and Kyle Larson. Kyle Busch finished 20th. Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Michael McDowell was leading up until like 4 or 5 laps to go, and he got wrecked. He got wrecked after Logano passed him. But he was leading up until the last 5 laps, dropped down a place, and then got wrecked. So.
Yeah, I got us a war.
Yeah, that brings us to the NBA playoffs. Round 1 has concluded at the time of this recording. I'm just gonna go down the list here. The number 1 seeded Oklahoma City Thunder take down the 8 seeded Memphis Grizzlies in 4 games, completing a sweep 4-0. The number 2 seeded Houston Rockets are currently playing right now. They're playing the Warriors, 7 seeded Warriors in Game 7. Warriors are up by 8 with 27 seconds to go in the third quarter. So they still got another quarter left, but they're down 8 at home to the Warriors, 7 seeded Warriors.
Who is the Warriors playing?
The Houston Rockets.
Oh. And they're down?
Yeah, Rockets are down. Rockets are the second seed.
Okay.
The Warriors just squeaked in the playoffs this year, and they're beating the second seeded Rockets right now in Game 7. The Lakers fall to the Timberwolves in the only upset of the first round. They fall to the Timberwolves. They didn't. For the game that they lost in 5 games, 4-1. So in Game 5, they didn't play a center at all. And Rudy Gobert was out there looking like prime Shaq. Rudy Gobert is a 4-time defensive player of the year. It means he doesn't have a fucking offense.
I was expecting you to say prime Shaq.
Rudy Gobert was out there looking like prime Shaq with 27 points, 24 rebounds, and Lakers coach JJ Redick was like, "Yep, now we're just gonna play small ball. We're not playing a center. We're gonna let this guy do whatever we want." One of our bigs fouled out. Not even a big. Dorian Finney-Smith. He's like a 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And he fouled out, and JJ Redick decided to put in Gabe Vincent instead. You probably don't know who that is. Let me tell you Gabe Vincent's height. 6'2".
I don't know a single name that you've named.
It's all right. 6'2". So okay. One of our dudes gets fouled out, and instead of putting in a center, JJ Redick puts in a 6'2" player, and They just get out rebounded. They got out rebounded by 20 rebounds. It was piss poor. It was awful to watch. Yeah. Yep. The 4-seeded Nuggets beat the 5-seeded Clippers in 7. They beat them by 19 in Game 7. The Nuggets did. So, for the second round, for the conference semifinals, the Thunder, number 1 seeded Thunder, will take on the 4-seeded Nuggets, and the 6-seeded Timberwolves will take on the winner of the Warriors and Rockets. And in the third quarter, 70-62 right now. Moving over to the Eastern side, the Cavaliers, number 1 seeded Cavaliers, beat the 8-seeded Heat in 4 games. They could sweep them. The 2nd-seeded Celtics beat the 7-seeded Orlando Magic in 5, completing the gentleman's sweep, which is just winning in 5. The New York Knicks winning in 5.
Oh.
If best of 7, a gentleman's sweep is one of the teams wins in 5. Like, hey, we'll let you steal
so 5-0?
No, 4-1.
4-1.
Yeah. Instead of it being a 4-0 sweep, it's a gentleman's sweep. Like, hey, we'll let you get a game. So it's a 4-1 series.
Yeah.
The number 3 seeded New York Knickerbockers beat the 6-seeded Detroit Pistons.
Careful, bro.
In 6. I know that's what they used to be called. That's why they are the Knicks now. It's shortened for Knickerbocker.
Oh, so you did that shit on purpose?
No, that's what they are, man.
Yeah, you said used to be.
Oh, Knickerbocker.
Oh, okay.
It's a term for a New Yorker, especially one of a Dutch descent. Dutch descendant, so
Okay.
New York Knicks.
I know what you were going for.
New York Knicks, dude. They beat the Detroit Pistons in 6. All right, now the 4-seeded Indiana Pacers defeat the 5-seeded Bucks, Milwaukee Buccaneers, or not Buccaneers, Milwaukee Bucks, in 5 games. And Giannis Antetokounmpo goes home.
Why?
Because he lost.
I thought you meant
goes home to Greece. No,
I thought you meant like he got sent home in the game.
No.
I was like, why would they just send his ass home? That's crazy.
No. For the second round, the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Cavaliers will take on the 4th-seeded Pacers, and the 3-seeded Knicks will take on the 2-seeded Boston Celtics in a little out-of-state rivalry. They're right there up in the Eastern United States.
Celtics and who?
Knicks. Knickerbockers.
Oh, okay, all right.
Now moving over
to hear you say it again.
Moving over to the NHL. The number 1 seeded, like in the whole damn thing. Number 1 seeded
Columbus Blue Jackets.
Winnipeg Jets. Number 1 seeded Winnipeg Jets are currently tied. They're in overtime right now. In Game 7, it's 3-3. Yeah.
Against who?
Against the St. Louis Blues. So the last team to make the make the playoffs. Yeah. Well, on the western side.
Could have been us. That could have been us.
We would have been on the eastern.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. They're the 1st seed in the Central Division and 1st seed in the entire playoffs. They are currently tied. There's 1:56 left in its first overtime. It's still tied 3-3, so we'll see what happens there. Maybe it may end as we're recording. Could end any time. The 2nd seeded Central team, the Dallas Stars, beat the Colorado Avalanche, or the Avs. That's their nickname, in 7 games last night. Or was that last night? Yeah, I think it was last night. The Avalanche were up 2-0 with 13 minutes to go in the third period. I debated putting it on last night. I was like, what's on right now? I'm trying to watch something, blah, blah, blah. Just flipping through channels. I saw that. I was like, nah, Avs got this in the bag. It was 2-0, fucking 13 minutes left. I decided not to turn it on for some reason, and the Dallas Stars score 4 third-period goals to beat them 4-3.
That's insane.
Yeah. Like, not just 4 third-period goals, 4 goals in, like, the last 10 minutes. Yeah, it was nuts.
That's crazy.
It was nuts.
Couldn't beat Columbus.
No. Hell no. The number 1 seed in the Pacific Division, still on the western side, the Vegas Golden Knights take down the Minnesota Wild in 6 games, 4-2. And then the 2nd seeded team in the Pacific Division, the Los Angeles Kings, lost to the Edmonton Oilers in 6. Oilers were the 3rd team in the Pacific, so it wasn't a big upset. Moving over to the Eastern side, the number 1 seed in the Atlantic Division, I believe they are, the Toronto Maple Leafs beat the Ottawa Senators in 6 games. And the 2nd seeded team in the Atlantic, the Tampa Bay Lightning, your 2nd team.
Okay. I do like the Lightning.
They lose to the defending champs in the Florida Panthers in 5 games.
Yeah, typical.
The number 1 Eastern Conference seed, I believe they're the number 1 team in the Eastern, just like Eastern Conference. The Washington Capitals, they beat the Montreal Canadiens in 5 games. They beat them 4-1. And then number 2 team in the Metropolitan Division, the Carolina Hurricanes take down the New Jersey Devils, also in 5. So our second round matchups are looking like, for the Central Division, it'll be the winner of tonight's game, the Blues or the Jets against the Dallas Stars. And then it'll be Vegas playing Edmonton, the Knights and Oilers. And then on the Eastern side, it'll be the Maple Leafs and the Panthers, and then the Capitals and the Hurricanes.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
That's a lot of fucking information,
It is.
buddy.
It is.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
But
I can pull up the bracket. Put it on the
from
screen.
what I can tell, it's gonna be pretty exciting.
Yeah. I'll pull up the bracket after this next piece, after this next part. So you can see for both, for NBA and NHL. It's definitely easier to look at.
Yeah.
There were no sweeps in the NHL for the first round, which was good. It makes for exciting hockey.
Yeah, that's cool.
The West was definitely more competitive. They had 2 Game 7s on the Western side, and then 2 Game 6s. The other 2 games were Game 6. And on the Eastern side, they had 1 Game 6, and the other 3 went to only 5 games.
Damn.
Yeah. This last part I have is Shedeur Sanders. Getting some Shedeur Sanders news came out. Shedeur Sanders was reportedly pissed off after his interview with the New York Giants. The New York Giants gave him an install package, which was just like a playbook, shit like that. They gave him a playbook to study.
Okay.
Is like a playbook or something with purposeful mistakes to see if he would catch on, or even glimpse at the fucking playbook that they gave him. He walked in the interview not prepared, didn't catch the mistakes. I don't even know if he read the playbook, if he looked at it. So they called him out on it. He was not too fond of that. He didn't like it. And that's probably why they chose to go Abdul Carter at 3 and then trade up into the first round again after their number 3rd overall selection. They traded up in the first round at number 25 to select Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart. I mean, I would assume that's exactly why they did that. Because,
yeah. 100%. Because how you about to go in there?
It's a job interview, dude. People are making it a race thing. They're saying, "Oh, it's because he's a black quarterback." Blah, blah. The number 1 overall pick was Cam Ward, a black quarterback from Miami.
Yeah,
like he was going into a job interview completely unprepared. Like what would happen if
didn't do the one thing that they told him to do?
Yes, what would happen if you went into a job interview and bombed it? You wouldn't get hired.
Yeah, literally.
You wouldn't. These are job interviews.
About that.
Yeah, these are job interviews. It's not a free hand me out. None of that. It is a job interview. If you're not prepared for your job interview, you're not going to get the job.
100%. I couldn't agree more.
All right, right here you're looking at the NBA playoffs. So Nuggets winning 4. The Thunder winning 4. Nuggets winning 7. Like I said, Game 7 they won. They beat the Clippers by 19. Lakers fall to the Timberwolves. And Rockets and Warriors are on right now. Warriors are up 11 with 10 minutes to go. Then on the Eastern side, you got the Cavs beating the Heat, sweeping them. And then you got the Pacers beating the Bucks in 5. You got the Knicks beating the Pistons in 6.
Bless you.
Appreciate it. And you got the Celtics beating the Magic in 5. So these are our second round matchups. Okay. Here. Thunder Nuggets.
This is a lot easier.
Cavs, Pacers, Knicks, Celtics, and then Timberwolves, and presumably the Warriors. They're up 9 right now.
Pacers are up 1-0. That's crazy.
Yeah. Cavs just had their first loss of the playoffs today.
It's crazy.
Yep, these two games take place tomorrow. So that'll make for some exciting NBA basketball. Now let's get over
Knicks
the
Celtics. That'll probably be a good one.
Yeah.
That's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. See, this is way easier
the two
to comprehend.
Northeast teams. Yeah, for sure. And then we got this game on right now. First overtime just ended. So they're going to go into double overtime here in about 15 minutes. Because, like, in the regular season, overtime is 3-on-3 for 5 minutes. If no one scores, then it goes to a shootout. In the playoffs, it's 5-on-5 overtime for 20 minutes. It's just another period. No one scores, you do another period. No one scores, you go do another one. That happened to the Jackets. They went to 5 overtimes with the Lightning in 2021. Game 1 of the 2021 playoffs, they played enough to get to game 3.5. They played enough periods for 3.5 games.
That's insane.
Or maybe it was 2.
Well, yeah, no, they played 8 periods. It's 2.5.
Yeah.
2 3/4.
Yeah. And then, you got the Jets and St. Louis Blues on right now. Then you got Dallas beating the Avalanche in Game 7. Vegas beating Minnesota in 6. And then the Kings falling to the Oilers also in 6. So next round we'll have the Golden Knights and the Edmonton Oilers facing. And then Dallas and whoever wins this game right here. Then on the flip side, we've got Toronto Maple Leafs beating the Ottawa Senators. So this means the D1 is they finished first in their division. So how this works is this little quadrant is the Atlantic Division. This is the Metropolitan Division. This is the Central Division. And this is the Pacific Division.
Makes sense.
So yeah, the D1 means they finished first in their division. WC1 means the wild card. They were the first wild card team.
Okay.
So like for us, we would have been right here. Facing,
gotcha.
Because the Capitals were the number 1 overall seed in the East, so they played the worst wild card team. Same with right here; they were the number 1 team in the West, so they played the worst wild card team.
And they're about to fucking lose to them.
Maybe, yeah.
Or potentially, yeah.
Yeah, double overtime in Game 7.
It's crazy.
So yeah, Maple Leafs beat the Senators. Lightning fall to the Panthers. So the Panthers finished 3rd in their division.
Right.
In the Atlantic, and then the Capitals beat the Canadians, that's where we would have went. I'm sure we would have gotten swept.
Yeah.
And then the almost said Panthers. The Carolina Hurricanes beat the New Jersey Devils in 5. These are our second round matchups.
When you said I almost said Panthers, I was like, yeah, why did
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be the last round of the divisions, and then after that, winner of this division plays the winner of that division. Winner of this division plays the winner of this division. Right here.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, we got for some exciting hockey.
Yeah,
for
man.
Sure. I think the Stanley Cup playoffs are the most exciting playoffs in all of sports.
Yeah, I like it. I love it.
The NBA finals are pretty exciting, but I mean, like the first couple rounds of the NBA playoffs itself aren't very exciting. It's just the finals that are exciting. Like, the NFL playoffs are exciting the whole way through. Same with baseball. I find baseball very exciting. The NBA, I feel like, is the worst out of the 4 major sports. Honestly, you could throw in college football, 5 major sports. NBA is still the worst. I think college football is probably the most exciting playoff.
Yeah, dude.
Especially, like, this past year, because they did now the 12-team era.
Right.
For the NHL playoffs, I probably like Washington or Florida again to go back to back. I
was thinking Vegas.
Vegas is a good pick too. For the NBA, honestly, it's really wide open.
I mean, yeah, with the NBA, I feel like anybody could do it.
Thunder and Cavs are both 1 seeds. They're both having historic years for their franchises. But I mean, don't sleep on the Celtics. Celtics are defending champions, so it could really be anybody. If Warriors get hot, dude, Steph Curry and the Warriors, if they get hot, they could win it all. I don't think the Nuggets will win it all. They won it all a couple years ago, but I don't think they have enough to do it again this year. Pacers, I don't think have a chance, and the Knicks, I don't think have a chance.
Yeah.
Really, the 4 teams I think could win it are 1 in this one, 1 in that one, 1 in that one, and 1 in that one. I mean, could make for some exciting conference finals.
Right.
Conference semifinals, probably not as much, but the conference finals, yeah, it'll be pretty exciting. And then obviously the NBA finals are always exciting.
Wait, what?
The conference semifinals, I don't think will be that exciting.
Yeah.
Conference finals will be exciting. And then the NBA finals is always exciting.
Okay, then obviously, yeah. All right, cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't know anything about NBA, so I mean that's
Okay.
always fun.
That's all right. Well, yeah, that's all I got today.
All right, man. I think
A little bit of
we're
short pod.
good.
31 minutes.
Yeah, it's not too shabby. Hopefully, we'll have some more news next week.
Yeah, we should. Because, I mean, the playoffs won't be concluded, the second round of either, but we'll have a good idea of who's going to win. And we can start looking ahead to the conference semifinals, or the conference finals. That'll be pretty fun. That's always fun time.
We should have
finals.
The first round of the next year of PGA Tour should be over by then.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll be able to talk. Yeah, should have some good stuff.
A bunch of playoff talks.
Yeah.
Summertime's going to be hard because there's really nothing in the summer. Baseball, that's about it.
Yeah. Which I know even less about than NBA.
Yeah. Baseball's hard to follow because there's 162 games. Dude, imagine that. 162 games and their season is only 180 days.
Yeah, it's if I'm being honest, Counter-Strike's probably similar.
Really?
With the amount, like, if you count individual maps, like games of Counter-Strike being played, yeah, probably.
Yeah, baseball, you get like maybe, I think in the minor leagues in AAA, you get every Monday off. That's it.
Yeah,
you're working 6 days a week.
Counter-Strike. Yeah, so like Vitality to win this tournament, they played 12 matches in this tournament in a 3-4 day span.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That is absolutely insane.
And then they'll get a day or two off for travel, and then they'll go right back into.
Yeah, that's how baseball. Baseball, you don't even get a day off to travel. You got to travel during the night.
Yeah, that's retarded. Well, but baseball, they're not traveling around the world.
No.
Yeah. See, like with Counter-Strike, they'll go from fucking Australia to Denmark to Brazil to
And in baseball, they play anywhere from 2 to 4 games against the same team. So, but most of the time it's like 3 or 4. So you'll play a team at home for 4 straight games. Then you'll go on the road and play a different team for 4 straight games. Maybe stay on the road for another series or whatnot. Yeah. They play 3 or 4 game series in the MLB. So I mean, you're staying put for 3 or 4 days. Could be 8 days, but then you gotta go.
Yeah, you're pretty much when they go to. I guess it kind of depends on how early you get knocked out of the tournament.
Yeah.
So like if you go to the tournament, don't even make playoffs, then.
Yeah, then you get to go home, I guess, and rest.
For
a couple days, and then you got to go to the next one.
Yeah, then you got to go to the next one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But teams like Vitality, where you're making every single
fucking grand final. Yeah, you're there to the last minute. Last minute possible.
You're the last team there.
Yeah.
But when you're as good as Vitality, you also get the advantage of not having to show up as early.
Yeah.
Because you'll get placed automatically further in the tournament.
Like group stages and shit.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess, I mean, a little bit of trade-off there.
Yeah. Dude, imagine having to play in the group stage and stay until the fucking grand finals. That would be a bitch.
Yeah. That's... A lot of teams do that, and a lot of teams get fucking worn out.
Yeah.
So happened to Eternal Fire, or previously Eternal Fire, now Aurora. But they just can't do anything, dude. I think they just played too much because they were consistently making playoffs, deep runs. You know what I mean? Like going to grand finals or
dude, that probably has a lot of fatigue too, just staring at a screen for 5 days straight.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, I couldn't imagine. I mean, it's similar to looking at your phone, but I mean, you're sitting there concentrated like this on the screen for 5 days straight. You're not like this on your phone 5 days straight.
Right. And don't get me wrong, they're not doing it for...
Yeah, they're not doing it for 24 hours
8 hours a day. They're only doing it for maybe in a best of 5, going to all 5 maps, you're doing it for maybe 5 hours a day. On average, each match should take about an hour if it goes all 24 rounds.
Yeah.
Like 13-11.
Yeah.
If it goes into overtime, it'd be about hour 15, hour 20, depending on how many overtimes. There was a game in last season of Pro League that I think the final score of the game was like 65-62 or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
Dude, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
That had to resonate with me there for a second.
Yeah, it was fucking
65,
insane.
63. That's fucking nuts.
They went into so many overtimes.
I was gonna say that's like fucking 20 overtimes, dude.
Yeah, they literally played like 2.5 or 3 games of Counter-Strike.
Fuck that. That's like the fucking like the Blue Jackets and the Lightning a couple years ago.
And it was, I think it was a best of 3 in map 3.
That's nuts.
I think. If not, then it was just a best of 1, and they just went.
They were just going at it.
Yeah.
Dude, I wonder how long that would be. I mean, you said it takes an hour for a map.
They stopped in the middle of it so that the players could go take a piss break, and they came back. It was on for like 2.5 hours.
That's nuts.
Because pros, they definitely, I don't know. It was on for a long time though. Like, because
I'll look that up.
They take longer in matches as well. Because like they'll run time down and shit. Like if you go play a public match, your teammates will just run out mid and get fucking insta clapped.
Mouse Sports beat Flipside 31-28 in a major.
Yeah, that's nuts too.
Yeah.
Let me look up I know one of the teams. I don't remember.
Holy shit. Gunrunners versus Izako Boers went a total of 118 rounds. Envy versus Ninjas went 122 rounds. Gunrunners versus Isuba went 137 rounds.
Oh my god, that's loud. Hold on. All right. Yeah, so the full match is an hour and 50 minutes.
That's just one map.
Yes.
And not professional.
I think. Or no.
Or not at least tier 1.
Hold on. No, their entire best of 3 series was an hour and 59 minutes. But okay, so hold on, let this go away real quick. Go away. 37-34. That was the final score.
Damn.
37-34. It was absolutely, and that was map 1. I was mistaken. It was map 1 of the best of 3.
Yeah, round 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's what happened to the Blue Jackets.
Yeah. The next map in the best of 3 series, they went into overtime again, but it only went into 1 overtime. They beat them 16.
Yeah, they were probably like, geez.
16-13, I think.
Just let them
16-12.
win. The losing team was probably like, dude, I'm done. Just let them win.
Yeah. Yeah, 16-13. Yeah, that was nuts though. It was a stupid long round of Counter-Strike.
The Blues are on attack right now.
Are they winning?
No, Winnipeg just made a save.
Yeah.
Going to commercial break out soon.
All right. I think that's all we got, man.
Yeah. That was good. Extended it by 10 minutes there. At the end.
Yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell.
May the 4th be with you.
Oh yeah, May the 4th be with you. May 4th.
Yes, sir.
It's awesome.
Well, at the time I upload, it'll be May 5th, but May the 4th be with you.
Well, yeah. But, oh yeah.
Appreciate it.